Hey there, fellows! We've got an advanced game. We've got JabbaTheGriffin of the Tigers, and the Sharks are about to beat them if Pana wins this. And that's what team Pana is on, yes. We see Skarm switching out of Zapdos, getting T-bolted, and a double to Celebi. Not sure what that was aiming to beat, since Blissey switch-ins tend to be guys like, Metagross, T-Tar, and, I mean, it handles Metagross decently, and Snorlax as well, but, so that's something. Jabba's running a faster taunt Skarm. We don't know how fast it is, but it says something. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal, like, a Pursuit Weak Gengar early on, as his immediate response to it. But Panda's just running some general, offensive, balanced, spike stuff. Can't go wrong with it. As Jabba taunts his Skarm, and both have one layer of spikes on the field. Jabba's looking to be running some hard stall. There's a double. Skarm on Blissey. Nice move on Panda's end, very nice, considering that even if Jabba stayed in, he wasn't going to be punished hard at all. And Skarm gets T-bolted. That is especially defensive. It could be a Calm Mind Blissey. It almost certainly is. Very rarely do we see a 3 special attacks, or 2 special attacks plus Seismic Toss, modest set from Blissey. M-Dragon likes that set. Doesn't use it often, but I know he's used it before. And maybe the Skarm doesn't have Careful. These teams tend to struggle with, smart Metagrosses and arrows sometimes, so maybe the Skarm is impish and the Blissey just doesn't have that much special attack. I think that would make sense considering how little it did to the T-Tar. The T-Tar is assumedly offensive, so it's not packing tons of bulk. It could be a Roar-Tar, which would run max HP, but even then, that just did way too little. So if Jabba's got a Claydol, then he's got a pretty good T-Tar check that's also immune to sand and spikes. So that's pretty nice. I mean, HP Bug will sting it, but they tend to be slow, so there's Rock Slide. Skarm is generally not a great Soul Tyranitar counter, but it's decent at switching in to begin with, and that is a slow Tar. Now, Jabba's team looks too defensive from this standpoint to be stall, so I don't think, or to be offensive, so I doubt he's a really fast taunt Skarm. He gets another layer of spikes up as Gengar switches out, fearing Toxic. I think he just has more speed EVs than Pana does. So spikes are going to dig into Blissey like hell, and he just takes the safe route, burning it. He could have doubled there, he didn't have to though, so sometimes with Whisper you want to be careful of Pursuit-Tar, that's his biggest enemy, and that's the reason they went down in usage when Pursuit-Tar started popping up. And there's Taunt, wow, that's the worst one, I can't even Giga Drape Tar for damage and healing to try and get out of Pursuit range. But, yeah, it's a good set for doing exactly this. And now he can use Ice Punch to hammer the Celebi on the switch, so it's looking like Jabba's struggling with Gengar. Just spikes plus stuff is really strong in ADV, man. I mean, well, fucking duh, but... so... if I had to predict the rest of Jabba's team, it'd be like Claydol, Water, Filler. Dusclops or Gengar if he's going really old school. And when I played Jabba in World Cup, he had these 3 plus Mixed Ments, Claydol, Dusclops. So it could be that. That doesn't have a water, but I generally don't like to. I don't enjoy these sort of hard stall teams because, like in DPP and Black and White, you could get away with them, switching and annoying you. Annoying your counters and such, because hazards are a lot stronger, with Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes as well, to the point where you can punish them really quickly for, not really quickly, but reasonably quickly for switching around a lot. As T-Tar eats another crit, he gets crit parried. Well, now he can heal, so that's really, really nice for Jabba. Taunt wears off immediately. He did get a crit on Skarm earlier, that's probably less likely to be useful, but Jabba temporarily, I mean, Blissey is still in really bad shape at 71, switching into Gar next time, even Zapdos, because it has to heal every single time, and the other guys, they just don't take enough damage from the hazards for it to be as worth it in advance, in my opinion. Like most smart players, they will be able to dance around you, and it's hard to punish them as much if you don't have offensive presence. Whereas in later gens, or in DPP and Black and White at least, then Skarm gets taunted, so that's a Taunt Tar, Taunt DD, very possible. McMegan has once run a Taunt Toxic set, but not sure much about that. As Swampert switches in Unscathed, although that full para didn't really matter. That T-Bolt was pretty nasty. So I think Jabba's getting the better end. So it's not the team that he was running against me at World Cup, and that's good because I wasn't really a fan. I don't really like clay at all, so Pert's in. And these types of teams that Panda run, I've run a trillion of them in my time, and they often do not have a proper water resist. Mainly because if you have Coon, then you don't really have a rock resist. You don't have one, like, because Dugshow doesn't count. Now, I've never really used Suicune and Metagross, and that could be pretty good. I mean, it's weak as hell, the offensive Starmie, but something like that, you know, Jirachi could work as well. Especially with Gengar wisping Tars and Zapdos pounding him and all that good stuff. Plus Wish, you know, keeps your shit healthy, and that's nice, that's great. So that's something I have to try, actually. Just making up shit on the fly. How great am I, guys? Anyway, so Swampert's in, and in this scenario, you generally are like, I use offensive pressure to, you know, handle Pert and shit, and you have a lot of ways to kill it, but when it gets in for free, this Hydro is going to sting a little bit. Skarm is at 71, so it is, Surf. Unless it's HP Grab. Yeah, Taunt Toxic, huh, he is running that set, and he misses. Jabba's on fire right now. I mean, his odds aren't great hitting Toxic through Para, but that's just... That's stuff that lucky players say to justify getting lucky, and I am guilty sometimes of doing that in narrations to try and appear fair. That's lame. It is pretty likely that if there's a Zapdos, that happens a lot. I'm thinking of another poke, and then a poke gets sent out, and I think it's that. If there's an arrow in the back, then that could be nasty, and it's very likely there is. Although those kinds of teams now he gets to... Oh, Roar. That's a great set if he's offensive. Because defensive Zapdos kind of died out. And Taunt Toxic, Tar would make sense that he doesn't need HP Grass and he would prefer... Well, Taunt Toxic would also hit, like, Flygon, and you would sooner... you would rather beat down Flygon... I don't know if Jabba just assumed Rest Talk or something, and just Ice Beamed away, because Roar Mix Zapdos, or just Roar Offensive Zapdos is a thing, but he gets it, and Ice Beam, and then Pana's Fear does not, or Pana tries to use Fear to, you know, force him to switch and get up more spikes, but that doesn't work. My original point, something, Swampert versus Zapdos, how would that come to be? He gets another Roar here as Blissey is forced to Soft Boil. Fuck it, it wasn't that important if I'm forgetting. But Swampert was, yeah, see, there's Pert, so that's not a water resist, so generally Surf stings a little, and Surf, I mean, it's safe. I have considered Surf sometimes, but Hydro just does really good things. And Swampert switching into Blissey is generally a danger sign, and that Swampert is faster than the Blissey. That is a bold Swampert. No, it's not bold Swampert. It is just like 48 speed EVs. I've done that on a couple teams. So you just hit it before it Calm Minds and Soft Boils and all that shit. So knowing it's Bolt Beam, Calm Mind, or knowing it's extremely, extremely likely, then he just sends it in. I think Jabba Soft Boils once or twice and then gets out of there and makes some havoc happen with Leech Celebi. Jabba's unrevealed last two could probably do a lot of damage. These teams I've run a trillion of them, and they are not famed for their longevity. I mean, they've got things to fall back on, but they want to end the games fast-ish. So, Pana doesn't have any reason to not just spam... Oh, you can go to Skarm? That's strange. Maybe he predicted Celebi or something, but that was definitely a soft-boiled. Maybe he Toxics and scares it out, and he's going to just use offense... Well, I mean, he lost T-Tar for not much, as he protects Smartly for more leftovers. And I guess he didn't feel like playing a crit game, even though wasting soft whales, because he's already used not quite a few, but a decent amount. And see, Careful Skarm, you know, that probably is Careful Skarm after all. That's amazing. And now he's got to switch out to perhaps a Gengar or something, because Swampert, I mean, if you can avoid the Toxic, then you do. So I'm thinking Arrow last. I mean, it makes so much sense. Although, I mean, if he wants to hit Pert, then maybe HP Grass Tar would be better. I guess maybe he was also taking Milo into account. Not a lot of people do, so that's nice there, but maybe the Zapdos does still have HP Grass. I mean, it should, but with the Taunt WoW Gar, I mean, WoW hits Pert, but when your team doesn't have water resists, and you don't have Blissey counts as a water resist, then, you know, you'd want to hit Pert every opportunity to get you. There's Zapdos, so that was kind of like... I mean... Pana can't really switch into an HP Grass Zapdos well, but now he gets to protect for more leftovers and bring it into range for his own Zapdos and Gengar and just yuck. He could go to Pert on... Well, Pert takes a lot of... Pert is probably not too useful in this game, since there's Celebi and Assuming Zapdos, so him taking a lot of spikes damage... I mean, this team is just... I can't figure it out. It's just... I mean, it's stall. You can't really go wrong with it. That's why... Oh! Good. So, it's not banded. Banned Zapdos is technically a thing. And he stings Pert really hard, so Jabba is running the mixed Zapdos that I half expected Pana to have with those spikes, so props on that, although it still really likes HP Grass. Although, if you have spikes, then you generally pick Ice, because Flygon is a threat. Of course, not a lot of people use Flygon, but Pana protects for leftovers. I don't know why he's not going Celebi on that Pert. I mean, he has a Celebi. So, that's just weird to me. I guess he doesn't want it getting a lot of Calm Mind. Oh, he goes for Calm Mind. Well, Taunt and Wisp Explosion has never been done before to my knowledge, so he's pretty safe just firing off an Ice Beam. And chunking the Gengar, which... Yeah, this is generally a bad sign. If Gengar is... So that did fucking nothing. That's a bad sign if you're sending in Gengar to Will-O-Wisp. Let's see. It's also pretty bad when you do it for Snorlax, but there it's at least, you know, acceptable. But that Gengar is either really, really slow and bulked out as fuck, which I really dislike. Just because it's slow, it doesn't hit very hard. Gengar's speed is its biggest asset. Very, very, very often. And, I mean, it doesn't have recovery, so it's not taking hit after hit after hit. Unless they're like HP bugs or something that you're pivoting into. So, I think this is just a Calm Mind Blissey without much special attack investment. I mean, it is a bulky Gar, clearly, it's Taunt WoW, but it also does not have much special attack investment. Taunt Toxic Tar will have more bulk than a standard offensive Tar, you know, Mix or DD on this sort of team, but at the same time, 70% was pitiful, so I don't think he has special attack EVs, or not very many at all. So, there's T-Bolt, there's another Ice Beam, for that matter, regarding Taunt WoW Explosion. Taunt WoW Destiny Bond also isn't really a thing, although I do know I've used Taunt Destiny Bond a couple times. It's pretty nasty. Because they have to attack you, and, I mean, it doesn't work if they spam Body Slam, but whatever. So, he's not even bothering to taunt, and he just takes it out. So, I mean, Celebi also helps. There's Arrow. And the Toxic on Swampert is probably dangerous. So Pana's running a standard nice team. You know what the most annoying thing for that kind of team is? It's fucking Magneton. It's not just, you know, HP Grass Magneton. It's not just because it kills Skarm, even though that's kind of a big deal. But it walls the shit out of Zapdos. It walls Gengar really hard. It's not as bad now that Magneton won't be running Rest Talk very much, if at all. But it's still annoying as fuck. It resists 3 of Arrow's 4 moves. Pert can't stand it. T-Tar hates switching in. Speaking of not switching in, that's a way to lose. Switching Swampert right into Aerodactyl's attack. Although if he double edges again here, he activates Torrent. So that would not be advised. But now he can't switch in again. So Surf is pretty safe here. It'll take down Pert with spikes. Skarm took a hit, but it'll get 2 KO'd. Zapdos will get 2 KO'd by it and Ice Beam, so... For Pana, you don't want to lose this arrow. This arrow is the best shot you have at winning the game. So, the last for Jabba could be Doug, it could be Gengar, it could be whatever. Pert goes down, he figures, yep, this is the least useful thing. And there's Zapdos, so... I think if he were going to... now he's not bluffing HP Grass. I think he really does have it. Just, although I suppose just roaring Swampert out more, you know, isn't bad, considering spikes are going to do a lot of damage, although he would much prefer to have a 3rd spike. So maybe going to Skarm there, especially considering how Jabba has historically had trouble with Toxic Skarm. So maybe going that, threatening Toxic, whirlwinding on Zapdos, bringing Swampert or Blissey or Celebi back in. So, something like that. Now he roars again. I mean, he's... Nice move by Jabba there. Very, very nice. Just dodge. Oh, that Celebi's faster than the Zapdos. That is one. Maybe it's, you know, that might be why he's not so eager to switch it into Pert earlier. Because offensive Celebi, you know, it doesn't really have recover. It doesn't have recover. Usually. I mean, I've seen it once or twice before, but usually you don't see it ever. And Jabba really, really likes offensive Celebi and Jirachi. So, Calm Mind, Psychic, HP Fire, Giga Drain. So something like that. And that would explain the speed too. So we can just fire off a Psychic for pretty much free here. Hit Zapdos. Oh, we HP Ice! Nice call there. HP Ice Celebi is something I've always wanted to use but never have. And we know it doesn't have Drill Peck, because it would have used it there. So, HP Ice Celebi is something I've always wanted to use. Somehow I really doubt it's HP Rock, the other possibility. Because HP Rock is only ever seen on SD Pass Celebi, and SD Pass Celebi on this team would be the worst thing I have seen in all my years of playing Advance. So, yeah, a whopping 5 years. It has been 5 years since I've started playing Advance. I wasn't good at it for a while, but I've been playing it. Yeah, that is fucking wacky, honestly. So, midlife crisis, Pokemon-wise aside, if this is Mana Zapdos, that might kill, but at the same time, he has so little special attack investment, I just can't help but feel, okay, then it must be an HP. Blissey doesn't usually invest in HP, it's usually like max defense and special attack. For most sets, I mean, obviously, max HP defense Blissey is, you know, a thing. But no, Mana Zapdos is insane. It's so fucking strong. Oh, it's one of my favorite pokes. It's been one of my favorite pokes for quite a while. So, Celebi is in for another kill, it seems. Well, not a kill, but HP Ice is great. And the reason why is popular checks to offensive Celebi are Salamence and Flygon. And also it hits Aerodactyl, another common switch to offensive sets, chase him out, rack up spikes, and hit the switch in. That's not all that solid, yada yada. Super effectively. It's just really nice. And I mean, hitting Zapdos is also very cool. And it retains the super effective hit on other Celebi, and it lets you have a perfect speed IV. So you can outrun HP Fire Celebis, you can tie all the plus 100s, all that stuff. And Skarmory is at low enough health where I mean, it's not going to die to HP Ice, but it's going to not appreciate it. So, I mean, offensive Celebi, Skarm shrugs off HP Fires, but at this health, I don't know. There is Skarm. There's another hidden power. Oh, that did nothing. Good God. No. I sang Celebi's praise a little too much. In this scenario, Psychic HP Fire would probably be a little better. Although, I mean, Arrow easily pivots. Oh my god, it's Swords Dance! What the shit? I knew HP Ice couldn't be that weak. It is HP Rock. I mean, surely, you know, okay, it's not Swords Dance past Celebi, I hope. Unless the last is like a Gilligros or something. But Swords Dance, Baton Pass, no Baton Pass, fucking Swords Dance. Well, now something dies after Skarm protects for more toxic damage. I mean, he really doesn't have to, considering. Well, yeah, he might if he wants to sack Zapdos and protect late game. He's not going to do that. Ignore that. He doesn't have to protect here, but it's just a formality. So, oh my God, it's agility, dude! He didn't have to protect. That's why he didn't have to protect. Oh, that's why he has Drill Peck Zapdos too. What the fuck did I just watch happen? And, oh, it might be Baton Pass after all. I just think I saw some crazy genius. Jorgen recently referred to Metalgross as Schrodinger's RB Wire, because sometimes he's a genius and sometimes he does retarded shit. And I think I just witnessed a Schrodinger's ADV strategy. That's amazing. Now he has to toxic protect. God, that Jabba just comes out of fucking nowhere with this shit, and now he wins. I mean, because even if, I mean, surely his last can touch Skarm. But yeah, SD Pass Celebi and HP Rock keeps away Roar Zapdos, which you don't really see since the Rest Talk nerf, since Rest Talk kind of, you know, if Zapdos can't Rest Talk, then it's not really, you know, doing its job. So, Rest plus Heal Bell is okay, but generally you don't want to Sleep Talk. And, you know, rest with coverage moves is actually quite good. Oh, he resets the Toxic, and he goes to Celebi? That's odd. I don't know why he didn't Baton Pass. I guess it doesn't matter if he's passing to that. But, predicts Protect, and I guess he wants that one last... He was afraid of getting Toxic thinged. So, I was going to say, way before all this crazy shit happened, that SD, HP, Fighting, Shadow Ball, Recover Celebi is a legitimate set and can, you know, function as a late game sweeper on stall teams. But HP Rock I have not seen, so that, I mean, it makes sense with the whole Baton Pass thing. That came out of fucking nowhere. And now, if you can just chip Skarm and then Arrow shouldn't win. I mean, unless the last is like Dug Trio or something that just gets O-coded by pretty much everything Arrow does. So, I mean, with 3 spikes up, it even has a chance to die to Rock Slide, and everything else kills. So, plus it doesn't kill from full, but he'll probably land a hit on it with like Swamp. No. If he hits Swampert, he knocks it in torrent range. He has to kill it. It has to be in range for it to die to Body Slam. So, Pana is surely whirlwinding here. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. You force Zapdos in to take more Toxic and then be able to Protect. Although, since I think he has to get a double Protect next time Zapdos comes in. Or he could just, you know, throw out a Toxic on Celebi or something. He probably wants as much health as possible, since... Nope, Swampert's in, and that does not bode well for the Arrow. So I don't know what the Celebi switch was. I mean, he's staying healthy, but, like... Weird, very weird. So, from where Zapdos is right now, I think Pana needs a double Protect to withstand the assault. I think he just spams Surf here, though, and Pana's going to need a lot of luck to not lose a poke to the Swampert just spamming Surf. So, oh, he crit him. No Whirlwind. There's Arrow. Well, now Jabba wins. So, unless this crits, and we will find out Jabba's last momentarily. And that's Torrent, that's a dead Arrow. So, Jabba takes the win home. Very, very surprising game. Oh, Jabba's last was Arrow. No, it wasn't Arrow. He says Metagross. Okay, so that probably won. That makes sense with SDBP Celebi, like you said earlier. And that also helps since Arrow would have to Earthquake to win, which means Celebi wins. So, let's say Jabba had this wrapped up anyway, regardless of that. So, yeah. Interesting game. I'm not a fan of Jabba's team, but I mean, it got the job done against a pretty standard thing. I would have changed some things on Pana's team, maybe a little, but overall, nice game. So Jabba gets his first win and 1-1. Thank you guys for watching this doozy of an advanced battle. And I will catch you next time.